Hello guys, welcome to my tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to code digital clock in HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So here I have my I have an asset folder right here, and then inside the asset folder I have my script.js and then my start.css, and then in the root folder I have the index.html, which is this what we have right here. So I do not want this video to be too long, that's why I have already done the markup. So here in the markup we simply have we just have here the header section. So here we have the title. So this is where I linked my CSS to the HTML. So inside here we have a container, and then we have a date time container here. This is a parent container, and then we have the time container, and then we have the time container. So this is where the time will be displayed, and then here we have the AM PM. So this will take this is where the AM or PM will be displayed depending on whether it is AM or PM. So here we have the date. This is where the date will be displayed, and then the rest of the represent the week of the days. Okay, then I have my JS linked to my CSS. So you can take your time to to get the template, the HTML template. You can see it's quite simple. So you can pause the video to to get a template. Okay, so in the style.css I have just a very few styling. This is for the container, and this is for the date time container. So the maximum width, this is what we have right here on the screen. Okay, so right here the maximum width here is gonna be 400 pixels. Okay, so we have all of that being styled out. So sorry, it's like I deleted the days. Okay, yeah, so when we go back, this is exactly what we have. So inside of here is where we're going to display the date time. Here we're going to display the AM and the PM, and then here we're going to display the current date. So from the styling, this is just what we have. So if we go back to the styling, so you can see the container maximum width is about 400 pixels, background image, we have the border radius of 10 px, padding, position to be absolute. So this takes care of, because we want to position it at the center of the page. All right, that's why we are using the let 50, and then we're transforming it. So we have the date time to be flex, we're not flex, and we are learning the items to start, and then space around. So we have the time container, we are displaying to be a flex container, and then it's going to be the ascent item is going to be aligned to the center, and we're going to justify the contents to the center. So here we have the date time and the date and the time, which refers to this date, this black background div you're seeing here, and that too. So this is where we style them. Okay, the text is going to be white, and then here we have the AM PM, and the AM PM refers to this sky blue background div right here. Okay, so that's going to be the AM and PM. So we have the days, which here refers, you can see the days right here. So the container for this Monday to Saturday, Sunday. Okay, and then we have what else do we have there? So here we have the weekdays, which refers to this itself, the Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Sundays. Okay, then the last thing is Sunday here. So we want the Sunday to be in to be a red colored. So that's what we have here. So that's all for the HTML and the CSS. So let's jump right to the JavaScript to enable the functionality. So in our JavaScript here, so the function I'm going to create is a function that will check if the time, if the hour, the minutes and the seconds, if they are 9, if they're less than 10, then if they're less than 10, it should add 0 to it. So I'm going to call this function function. I'm gonna call it at 0, and so what it's gonna do is it's gonna check if x is less than 10. So if s is less than 10, what it's simply going to do is to assign s to the concatenate of 0, concatenate 0 to x. Okay, then it will return x. Okay, so what this will do is, if we have, instead of 9 as our, all right, instead of 9 so it's gonna return something like 090909. Okay, so it's better formatted like this in two digits. Okay, so this is what this function is going to do. So the next function I'm going to create is the time format. We have 12 hours format, and then we have 24-hour format. So here I'm going to use 12-hour format. Okay, so let me say 12-hour format. So I'm going to create a function, and this function I'm going to call it time format, and I'm going to pass variable, let's say hour, into it. Okay, because it's basically for the hour. So I'm going to check if hour is less than 12. So if it's less than 12, then we're going to do something else if hour it's equal to 0. Okay, we're still going to check for this condition, and lastly we say else in any other case. So if hour is less than 12, if it is greater than 12, sorry, if hour is greater than 12, then we don't want to return 13. Okay, we don't want to have 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 23, 00. We want to have 12, 1. So if it is greater than 12, we are going to we're going to say hour is equal to hour minus 12. Okay, and then here we're going to say if hour is equal to 0, that is if it's 24, that is 00, we want hour to be equal to, we're going to assign it to the value of 12. Okay, and assign it to the value of 12, and then we say else in other case we will just want hour to to remain hour, and then we're going to return hour here. All right, we're going to return hour. Okay, so this is basically what these two functions is going to do. Okay, so the next function I'm going to create is the main function. So the function is I'm gonna call the function, let me call it my time. Let's say my time. Okay, and then inside my time we're gonna use the date object. So we're gonna create a new date object. Okay, and then to get our hour, we're gonna say we're gonna declare a variable for hour, and hour is gonna be date.get hours. Okay, and then we're gonna get our minutes. So we're gonna say the minute is equal to date.get minute. Okay, and then we're gonna get our seconds. We're gonna say seconds is equal to date, and then we're getting the seconds that get seconds. Okay, and then after getting the seconds, the next thing we're gonna get is the day. So we're gonna say day. All right, so day is gonna be date that gets date. All right, it's gonna be get date, and after the day we want to get the month. So we're gonna say month is equal to date that gets month. Okay, and then we're gonna get the year. So for year we're gonna get a full year. So this is gonna be date that gets full year. Okay, so having gotten all of these values, all of this, I haven't set all these variables. Why are we getting? Oh, sorry, didn't include my time function. to tell JavaScript that this is a function. So we're gonna say function right here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're gonna call the @0. All right, this function. That's the reason why I created this function first. So we're gonna add this to the we're gonna add this. We're gonna call this function @0. So we want to say that our day is equal to @0. So we pass in the day. Then we say that minute is equal to add. Minute is let's assign minutes to @0 of minute, and let's assign for the seconds. So seconds will be @0. All right. Okay, so pass the seconds variable into this, and yeah, that's gonna be all for seconds. Okay, so what we're going to do next is to get the days, to get the months. Okay, we don't want to output the month. This result will give us a value from 1. This will return a value from 0 to 11. Okay, so it's gonna be in 1, 2, 3, 4 to 11. So we don't want to output this as 1, 2, 3 to 11. Mistake, when I output it in a readable form. So we're gonna use the switch statement. So we have this switch, and then we're gonna pass in the month variable into it, and we're gonna check for case 1. We're gonna check for case 0. So if month is equal to 0, we want to assign the month variable. We want it to be January. Okay, and then we're gonna break this statement, and then we check for case 1. So if month is equal to 1, then we're assigning the month variable to February. Okay, and we will break the statement again. So we're gonna do this till December, which is 12. So I will pause this video and then get it completed. Okay, so here, so you can see we have case 1. So if month is equal to 0, then we're gonna assign months to be January. If it is 1, we send it to February. March 2, we send it to March to 11. All right, so when the month is 11, then it's gonna be December. Okay, so that's basically what we're gonna be outputting. So the next thing I'm going to do is for this, where is this? All right, we want to know if it is ante-meridian or post-meridian era. So what we're going to do right here in our script, so we're going to declare a variable that we're going to call, let's call it mode. Okay, and then we want to check if hour is greater than 11. So if hour is greater than 11, we want the mode to be equal to, we want to assign the mode variable to PM. Otherwise, if mode is otherwise we're going to assign mode to AM. Okay, so when we have done this, let's output it. So let's get that variable, let's get the element, let's get the element. So we get the element, by ID, and AM PM dot inner HTML. So this is gonna be mode. Okay, so let's check and see what we have. Okay, it's not yet, nothing is really there yet. Okay, because we've not processed our hours and the rest of that. Okay, so what we're simply checking if hour is greater than 11. So we want the mode to, I want to assign the mode to PM. Then if it is not, that means otherwise. We want to assign it to AM. Okay, so having done this, let's go to our HTML and say AM PM. So here we have AM PM. Okay, so having done this, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to call the time format. All right, the time format here for hour, the time format right here for hour. So what we are going to do is we're going to call the time format, and we're going to pass hour to it. Okay, we're going to pass hour to it. Okay, so we've not called this function, so this function is not called, so that's why this was unable to to be displayed on the screen. Okay, so also for the hour here, we also want to check if this hour is less than 10. So we will apply this add zero function to it. All right, so we come here and say add zero function. So we're gonna add the add zero function to it. Okay, so that we also check if it is less than if the hour is less than 10, then we have to add less than 12, then we have to add 1 0 to it. Okay, so having done this, I think it's time for us to display the time to the screen. So we have get element by ID. So we're gonna get the time because we want to display the time in our HTML is equal to hour. Then we concatenate the hour with this, and then plus our minute. All right, minute right here, and then we also concatenate for the minute, and for the seconds. Okay, so this is what we're gonna have for the time. So for the dates, we're also gonna go by get element by ID, and we target the date element, and here we're gonna have the month, right? The month, we wanna get the month, and we concatenate the month with an empty string, and then we're gonna add days, sorry, doesn't use day. Then we're gonna concatenate the day, and then the last is gonna be the year. All right, so this is basically what we're gonna have. So let's call the time my time function. That's this function right here. So let's call my time function, and then see what we have. Okay, so here, so you can see we have the date format, it's in 14, so we are still going to do some job here. Something is wrong here. Here we have it's about 2:30 and 2:30 p.m. so you can see. So we have all of this now. So let's go back to our code right here. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do, if you look at this, you see that this 20 remains 20. It's not incrementing. So what we're simply going to do under here is to call the set time out, and then we're going to call my time, and we're going to have this in 1000 milliseconds. So in every 1000 milliseconds, this function is going to call itself. Okay, so as you can see right here, we have this warning. All right, we have this warning, but we have a problem. And the problem we have here is this is in it's not in 12 hours format. This is in it's in 24 hours. So we want this to be 202 and not 14. Okay, so let's get back to our code and trace where the problem is coming from. So it should be around here. All right, it should be around here. Let's remove this and see what we're gonna have. Okay, that does not solve the problem. Let's check the. Okay, I think the problem is coming from here. Because in the time format it's returning a value. Okay, so what we're going to do now here is we're going to assign hour to this. So we're going to say our hour is going to be whatever it returns, but then we're going to add the add zero from add zero function. to whatever it returns. So let's go back and see. So you can see right here we have 2:34 p.m. on May 29th 2023. Okay, so we've been able to set this. So what is left here is this. So we want to know the day. Is today Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or Sunday? Okay, so that's what's left. So what we are simply going to do is we're going to define a function. We're going to define a function that will a function styling, okay, for the current date. For instance, if today is Monday, we want to have something to indicate that today is Monday. Okay, so what we are going to do now is let's have a function that says what can we call it? Let's call it current date styling, something like this. So for the current date styling, we want to pass in the day. So we want to say document dot get element by ID, and then we're gonna pass in the day dot star. So for the first time, we're gonna add background style. We're gonna add background to it. Okay, so we add background to be green. We're gonna add background green, and we are going to add the next thing we're gonna add border radius. Okay, so here we're gonna have border radius. So for border radius, we will just add border radius of about let's say 2px, and then the next thing we are going to add to it is color. So here we're going to add color. We're going to add color of white. Let's add white color to the text, and then the last thing we're going to add is let's add some font weight to make it a little bolder. Okay, so here we can add font weight, and let's say bold. So the font weight is going to be bold, right? So having gotten this actually for the styling. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the switch statement. Okay, so we're going to create a function. All right, so here we have a function, and then we're going to call this function days of week. Okay, so inside this function, let's get our variable of dates to be equal to new date, and then our day is going to be equal to date that get day. Okay, get day, and we're going to use the switch statement. So this get day is going to return it's going to return a value from 0 to it's going to return a value from 0 to 6, which represent the days of the week. Okay, so here we're going to pass the day variable into the switch statement. So we want to check the first case. So the first case is going to be for on Sunday. So we want to check case 0. So we want to check if the variable day here is 0, then we want to assign the day variable to Sunday. So it's going to be Sunday, and then we are going to call this function, the current styling, to this element. So we're going to call current function, and we're going to pass in sun. Okay, so this basically is going to be sun. Then before we break the statement, so we're going to check for case 1. So the case 1, if that is the case, then we will have the day variable to be assigned to Monday, and assigned to Monday we also call the current date styling, and then we're going to pass in month to it, and we break this statement. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and complete this for Monday to Sunday, then I will continue with the video because I don't want it to be too long. So here we have if the day is 0, then it's going to be on Sunday. If day is 1, then it's going to be. Now the reason why we're using month here or Tuesday here is because in our index.html we have month here is an ID. This ID is the IDs we are picking. Okay, so we're gonna get this ID. All right, so having done that, so if the case is 3, if the day returns value of 3, then we want it to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So when we're done with this, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to call this function, okay, days of the week function. We're just simply going to call it. So we call days of the week function, okay. So that is it. So this is really how, so you can see today is Monday, and that's why you see this. So when we get over to Tuesday, it's going to be right here, Wednesday is going to be right here, Sunday is going to be right here. Okay guys, so that is it for how you can code the digital clock in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post new videos, and comment. All right, so thank you so much.